Okay, so let us continue. As you all know, today we had a leader in the world that left and he said, I don't want to be the leader of the world anymore, according to what we have just told. But one wants to be the leader in the Middle East and China, and it implies a lot of things. When we think about China, it's like going to a new planet. It's so human, humble, and so overcoming that we cannot describe China in just a few words. As you know, China is taking the role of a leader, and in a few years is going to be the number one leader in the world. So when in China people breathe, here we have oxygen or not in any place of the world, not just here. And we are living this in our flesh and soul. So to talk about China, it is like an obligation. And today, in this partnership we have in the firm with the magazine, which is China Hoy, we have the partnership with its director, Gaby Cedillo, and they have supported us in the last few years and given us this overview of this Asian dragon, but from at the distance we do not know how it is or how it looks like. But China has to understand all the world. Our next two presentations are about China. First, we're going to see what is China proposing to strengthen the foreign trade in the midst of commercial wars based on rules and based on preventing these trade wars that do not help anyone. In the past, the wars used bullets, and today, hopefully, we will not be biological wars or with the water or what have you. So this is a tangible field of exports and imports, how we can prevent the trade roles with a real leader, which is China. Who is going to present this subject? Mauricio. Next, we have one personality that graduated Spanish philology in foreign languages of Luoyang in 2005. He was is editor of China or China Today. He's subdirector of China or Latin America and Mexico as of 2017. So we talk about Miao Ye, who will be with us in a few minutes. And I just want to tell you that he is part. He's a he survived COVID, so we want to thank him for being here. His subject is proposal of China to strengthen the foreign trade based on rules and prevent future trade wars. Welcome, Mr. Mian Chang. The floor is yours. Thank you very much, Miguel, because he likes to be called Miguel. So you are okay since you had COVID. Could you share my PDF? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? No. Do you hear me? Yes. Okay, go ahead. Señor Mubarak, thank you for giving me this opportunity to present here to all of you my point of view about the Chinese economy and its situation, and and what is forcing China so and for the economies of the world that can be more developed despite the coronavirus pandemic. To begin, I would like to present my situation. In reality, I am a master in translation, Spanish Chinese, in Barcelona at the Autonomous University of Barcelona. This is my last title. I was I studied at the University of Warrior, which is a military university, and in the past few days, I am like a patient healed from coronavirus. I had it in a very light degree. It was a very difficult time for me. My colleagues uh, take care of me, and but now it's over. It is not like a severe disease at my age, 37 years of age, so it's easily cured. Okay, you can overcome it like really well. But I thought personally that it was like an epidemic in all the world that can affect a lot to the world, not only China, the United States, but also to Mexico. Though Mexico has gone this has had very severe cases, and in the news I heard that also we have other viruses besides coronavirus, A AH1N1, that it comes from the U.S. So so it causes death, and I think the rate of death is much more higher than the rate of COVID. And also, I heard that in China, in the Qingdao city, from the Sano province, 6 patients of coronavirus, and China, to prevent all the infection in the city, decided to test more than 9 million inhabitants. And all the media is saying that China has the power of doing those tests. It is like in only 2 days, China has done 270,000 tests, and we have 9 new patients. So, so the second wave is coming. Europe, China, Asia, and Latin America. So we have to take care of ourselves. So based on the subject I will give today, the proposal of China to strengthen the foreign trade system, since I am a journalist, my point of view, it is like the point of view of a journalist, so to speak, like for the media, for the official media. So everybody knows that our current president is Xi Jinping, and he ha- he thinks that the world should give mutual support. They cannot be separated, taking care of itself. It's like the Chinese and the thinking of China. uh, they need like to be. If we translate this character, we will have harmony. It's not like friendship. So we will have. We need to have the attitude that is that China will never be and it doesn't want to be the enemy of anyone, but the there are other countries who wants to have like a trade war or a regional war or with weapons, as the United States. China for sure it's going to defend herself. Okay, China. Okay, since people provoke China, it will create a trade war. Our leader doesn't want to have a war. China is like like a country. The domain and the administration of one person or of one party. We do have other parties, but but it but it has. Okay, the Communist Party is the one that is ruling the country. So the Chinese are really united, are very strong. Yes, if the Communist Party says something or an idea, all the Chinese must do this, and everybody respects that. And you all know that. And sometimes our president, she mentions and also shows the experience and around this way of thinking. So far, what I know, uh, it's a still country where in this city there's no coronavirus patients. It is being recovered. Everybody is happy, and the parents and children are really healthy and happy. So the economy is moving ahead like in a normal day. The only difference is that other countries outside of China have economic problems. So the foreign trade is, well, there's almost no businesses. Chinese producing a lot of masks. So there's foreign trade, so to speak, but not the trade China used to have, like before coronavirus. The cooperation uh, should be open. It should be, as we call, China allows any culture, political government. China is able to understand everything, but the Western world also needs to understand us. All the world in the Western Hemisphere is under democracy. China doesn't have any democracy, but every Based on the way of thinking of Chinese, there's a fallacy. Well, we have a stable government, so China can be compared with other countries and they are free, but if just the freedom cannot be a threat to other countries. Under a control, that a fixed control, you have freedom. But one example is that the Chinese will never have a pistol in their hands without the permit of the government. So people will not feel threatened, not even for ourselves as Chinese and for the government. We work for the stability of a country and its society. That is, our president, even though that in the case of Hong Kong and Taiwan are facing threats and the politics is strong, but their stand is as the opinion of the experts. In the future, the world of cooperation between China and other countries we is through internet by digital economy because of the coronavirus situation. And currently we can see some figures from the 1st of October until the 8th of October, we we have the establishment of the country and the beginning of the autumn, okay, during 8 days without the threat of coronavirus. The sales through internet have increased a lot. Many foreign experts, even the Chinese, say that China is moving forward again. So why China can be is able to do this right in this moment because China do not have coronavirus. It's has already been controlled. So everything has a connection as a concept by saying that China has the only policy or one only party in April and March. If I'm not mistaken, China is the only country that had the threat of coronavirus, and China is very populated, and this virus was really evil. So it's just like we call it. Everybody is thinking in the future of China.
And you can see the example of this disaster. However, how it has been conquered with control. We're talking about democracy. They should allow people go outside on the street. They cannot stop them, control them, because they are a threat for others. The government needs to control all patients, suspicious or confirmed, in a hotel, in a hospital, somewhere, and to receive general treatment. And this is called like a hospital, like ships, or we use this control to control the virus. It does work. Even when in this moment people are having a hard time, but we will see the result in China. So, whatever it is, some people die, but not too many. And some of them are fighting for human rights. But China has conquered and has achieved a good recovery in the economy. This is good figures for China in the last 2 months. So, this is an internal control. An example, this is from April. In my city, there's a big mall, and everybody was happy when coronavirus ended and everybody could go out as a normal day. And only 2 days in this mall, there is an official calculation that in these 2 days, it was visitors like in 6 months, only in 2 days. I think that this is going to happen also in some other countries like Mexico or others in Europe. So the government needs to learn to know the future of economy. The most important thing right now is to conquer and win the virus. With this, we are going to be able to have a future. Keeping the current situation as in Mexico, the government is thinking that we are placing our hopes in a vaccine. However, it is not very easy to have it. This can take longer. And we do not know if it is going to work. The most important thing is to control with strong measures. There's the only way. Everybody is concerned about our national holiday. This is a big celebration, shopping, and the government is concerned about a second wave of coronavirus. A lot of people go out. Look, people in China with face masks. That's the policy. Everybody needs to use face mask or they are going to be arrested or fined. Only China does that. If this policy is implemented in other Western countries, there's a good probability to overcome the virus. In some countries, people are afraid, they want their rights, and they want their rights to be kept. That's really serious. Why China can do this? Because China has strong control. We call it democracy comparison democracy. It's not a complete democracy. There's democracy though. If I am not mistaken, there are some experts at the beginning of 2020 saying that China has coronavirus and said that there was no investment, no economy, they are not going to grow. But no, when coronavirus was conquered, China advances. There are many Western researchers from the United States and Europe. They have the idea that China is a big threat because when you see the situation of other countries, China is in favor of the policy to control coronavirus and will recover earlier than other countries. So in the United States, people are also afraid. The president wants to be reelected, and he says that China is a strong threat for them. But this is not so good to win that big enemy. It is better to have relationships with that big country so they can advance together and see, and also being strong. Instead of being an enemy, become a friend and understand each other. China wants to advance more. We can see this policy. Here you can say China has won. The Chinese policy says we're losing because in order to have this element, China has paid a lot of money, has offered a lot of money at the beginning, but a long time China has won a lot. And also with other countries helping each other. Everybody say China will be a winner in the world. Yes, but with all the countries, they will also be winners. And this is the policy of the Chinese people. We win together. It's win-win. Not only one wins. For a country to survive in the world, it is better to have relationships. We're not thinking in an individual manner, but as partners, winners. So we should have good relationships with the others to have mutual help to become a big country. It doesn't matter if you're a small country, a developing or developed country. I believe that in the future, Mexico will be a big country, a bigger player in economy. because Mexico is under the threat of coronavirus right now. I am in Mexico City now. I cannot return home according to the orders of my boss in China. He said, Miguel, you have to stay in Mexico, even when I want to return home. As you know, in China, we do not have coronavirus. It is the safest country right now. But my boss ordered me to stay in Mexico. He said, you cannot return. And all official workers should stay in their country. They don't want us to travel because this could re-enter the virus in China. There's a policy in China, I have researched it. It says that all visitors, even Chinese returning to China, they should stop in a quarantine the first day they arrive. The government will decide where you are going to be in a hotel. After 14 days, if you are paying your hotel and your food, you need to pay for that. So you can be free and return home. It doesn't matter if you are the president or the chairman of a company. This is the policy which is going to be applied. Otherwise, you need to return to your country without entering China. Then, the policy in China is very strict. In China, right now, there's almost no coronavirus, but the government is focused on these strong policies. Mexico could learn something from China. When coronavirus is over, I think that Mexico will have in the future a very big economy in growth. Why do I say that? Thinking about the world situation, thinking about the relationship between China and the United States is not so good. It's worse. In the last 30 years, so it also depends on who's going to be the next president in the United States. If Trump, it's the same, worse. If it is another person, probably we have the opportunity to reestablish our bonds, but we need a long time to recover. The relationship between these two countries needs to be reestablished. Now, talking about other Latin American countries is the same. China may start investing in some of these countries or other Asian countries, probably Mexico, Canada, and Australia. We call them the countries that go to the United States. Thinking about this, I would say that the idea option in the future, so Mexico grows more, is to receive more investments and contacts other countries in Asia and make business with them in Mexico to provide benefits, and this should be the policy and should have relationships with countries like China, Japan, India, Vietnam. Mexico can recover in the economy, but before anything, we need to think about some factors. For example, according to what I know, especially in Mexico City, there's a street. It's in the historic center, downtown. There are stores that are closed. 80% are closed forever with losses. Losses of employment, money due to coronavirus. And I could say to people, if you're thinking on how to escape to this threat, you should establish policies. Mexico should win the virus. And certainly Mexico will have a strong future, an increase in its economy. Now, what the government should do in Mexico is to learn from the Chinese, asking help to China so China could facilitate this methodology. How China controlled? Well, if China did it, Mexico can also control the virus. Mexico needs to convince its population by saying that China did it and Mexico can learn about that. Control policies, measures to control the coronavirus first, and then Mexico will start opening its doors to receive investment in the manufacturing sector, tourism, international cooperation, and creating factories for these big countries. In this way, Mexico can create more job positions for Mexicans. Well, Mexico is going to be a big manufacturing country. That's my opinion, and I think should be the goal. And then Mexico. I know that in Mexico we have there's a lawyer in Mexico that told me that Mexican policy is too open, too free. We can accept everything, culture, policy. Why we cannot advance more? And I would say due to corruption or politics or different points of view. China, on the other hand, countries like China, I believe that Mexico needs to understand the culture of Asian countries. How's the culture? I'm going to give you an example. The eating culture, for example, simply to understand. Chinese decide everything, even if we are talking about food. As a company, we sign contracts in an office, but not Chinese. They drink, they speak, and they decide things. But if you decide you cannot change your mind, and there's a price, and there are conditions. That is, in China, once there's an agreement, you cannot change your mind. For Chinese, this is a lack of confidence, but this happens a lot in the Western world. Even if you have a contract, you can change. In China, Chinese hate this strategy. They accept it. If you want to make business with China, once you sign, you are not going to change your mind, and you will offer the best service and cooperation to facilitate the business. That's the way Chinese are. Can you hear me? Am I okay? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yes, yes, we can hear you. So this is my point of view. The first task in Mexico should be to win the virus. And then Mexico will be in a better situation. And then Mexico should start establishing relationship with other countries, taking advantage of those. Understand the trend and situation to become the winner. And for this, we need a strategy. So, right now, we know that China and the United States cannot communicate as they did before. And we know that there are some tensions. Mexico needs to take advantage of this opportunity. But first, they should overcome the coronavirus threat. And then Mexico will become the best as a manufacturing center. That's my point of view. Thank you very much. I am Chinese and I cannot speak very well Spanish. So you realized about that, and thank you for being with me. My apologies. You speak very well, Miguel. Even better than some of us. This is for you to understand how Asian people think. Do we have any questions, Judith? There are some questions here that we are reading. They say here, which indicators we should take for economic growth? And I would say in all Latin America and all over the world, because everybody is connected. Which indicators? Because Western economies use indicators, but probably in China use different indicators. Which indicators you use? Can you give me an explanation for that term of indicator? Indicators is like a figure. For example, the growth of economy is an indicator. Inequality index, poverty index, access to drinking water. This is an indicator. What about China? Do they adapt these indicators or do you have your own indicators? From my point of view, figures that you have just mentioned, yes, they are very important. Those indicators for China. All the economists, including the president, he has a group of analysts. All decisions come from that group. They are expert. Even when we think that it is a decision of the president, is from a group of experts. The truth is that they think about the stability of the society. Can you please mute your microphones? Is the microphone working? No, I was trying to mute everybody. Is my microphone working? Can you hear me? Yes. All right. So I would say that Chinese think about not only indicators, but how to establish this and the society, safety and security. That's the way the government evaluates this. And if Biden wins, what do you think? To make business with China and having a good cooperation with China, you need to recognize that economy, safety is part of the most important indicators. Why Xi Jinping, our president, decides this Hong Kong security law, and in the United States they were talking about this policy. They said we're not going to make businesses with China, but China says this is the stability of the country. So then leaders in China think more about policy, security, management, rights. Not only in other factors. To reach security, they can neglect any other thing, money, sales, benefits, etc. They can neglect that. But security is of the utmost importance. You need to recognize this. This is what the government thinks.
I don't know if I was clear enough. Thank you very much. And we have one more question. If Biden wins, can we end this trade war with China? A ver, could you repeat the question? The question is, if Biden wins, are we going to be able to end this trade war? Instead of Trump to win and Bid wins, who this if this trade war would come to an end? Well, if it's China and the U.S., the two countries lose, who is going to lose more? The other countries also. But also there's people that win. I have a friend who is the head of a company, and he says that this is a war, but both countries will lose. If China loses, the U.S. loses as well. If the president, with this president, the country is not doing an okay. The only loser is Trump. So it doesn't matter who wins. The war is there. The last question, please. Then, in your opinion, how long how long it'll take for the Latin American economy to improve? How in Latin America, how long will it take to recover? Because the economy is really bad. I am not an analyst or a researcher of economic issues, but we can believe in God. I was born in 1983, so according to the Chinese zodiac, I am a pig, but the moon calendar, I think my year is gonna be a very lucky year. This, at the beginning of coronavirus, everybody was saying this will pass. It's 15 days, it'll be over. It is not a strong virus, I would say. Nobody believes me, and many people saying, no, Miguel, you are wrong. But at the end, we are still in the pandemic when everybody is saying that China will be destroyed. The Communist Party will no longer exist. So China will have a new government. And I say, no, China, the Chinese government can do everything to maintain the political security. And this do happen, but in 3 or 5 years more. At that time, I cannot say anything. So this is my point of view. At the end of this year, we are going to recover from this situation or the vaccine, or if the Mexican government wakes up. So we control more in, because Mexico controls a lot, so Mexico will be able to recover its economy in a 6 month period. So it will have the level it had in May of this year, and another year, that is in 2022, Mexico will move ahead, will start moving ahead. It won't be like the first countries, but it will grow 3% per year. That's my point of view. Will that be the same for the whole Latin America, Brazil, Argentina, Peru? No, no, not all of them. In the case of Peru and Argentina, right now, each country has its own problems. In Mexico, it is so close to the United States. It's because of its geographic location. A country can develop, but Peru and Argentina are okay, but they have also their own problems, and they are not as close as the United States as we are. So the AMLO in Mexico can go to the U.S. like if it were at home, but other leaders from Peru and Argentina is not easy for them to go to the U.S. right now in the middle of a pandemic. I don't think so. So Mexico, Canada, Australia, they are closer to the U.S. The Americans in these 2 years, and I don't know why, they are just thinking about their own benefit. So they have to change the mindset. How will they change this? The, to select the best president possible. It cannot be Trump. It should be another one. I don't know who. It could be one that understands better the world, or the benefit, that would not think in their own benefit, helping other countries, having better relationships with other countries. Otherwise, Mexico will win because Mexico is almost at the center and the closest to the U.S. This is like now it is the door that is closed is the U.S., but it should open it more. Thank you. Very interesting. I think that there's no time for other questions. We can spend all day, Miguel. It is always a pleasure to hear you and listen to your advices. So we're going to give you your certification. Please, Judith. I will ask accountant Hector Ruiz from Chihuahua. I just want to welcome him. So we want, well, first and foremost, thank you very much for this honor to grant this recognition to Mr. Miao Ye, Miguel. And for me, it's a great pleasure and pride to be part of this family, of this great firm, UC&CS. I hope that we will have a long-standing relationship until the 50th anniversary. Well, first, your comments were really interesting, Miguel, and with your observations made about Latin America and other countries of the world, we will be able to move forward and overcome this crisis. Hopefully, on the 26th anniversary, thanks to what you said, we will be able to do it in person, and we will be closer than ever. So the firm UC&CS America grants this diploma to Mr. Miguel Ye. Mauricio already told us that you like to be called Miguel instead of Miao. So, and this is for your valuable participation as a speaker in the technical conferences sessions 2020 proposals of China to strengthen the foreign trade system based on rules and preventing future trade wars. Mexico City on the 12th of October 2020, signed by Public Accountant Mauricio Movara Gonzala, Chairman of the Board of Directors of UC&CS America. Thank you very much. A big round of applause. Thank you very much, Miguel. And thanks to Hector. Welcome to the firm. Hector, we are just about to execute the contract, and we are seeing a new customer in New Mexico, right? So we're going to move forward very quickly. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, Gaby Cedillo, that I know she's connected always with this alliance. Gaby has been really important for the firm, and we hope to contribute with China or by being together in this journey. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you. Xie, xie.